Which story did you like, Frank? What was your favourite of all the picks today?
The Tuchel one. I would say that it's pretty impressive to see 6 games, 18 goals, no goals conceded. It's pretty impressive. Even if we all expect to see England doing well every World Cup for the past 4 or 5 World Cups. We see, or maybe that's the year for the new generation, that golden generation, the perfect generation, and it's always something blowing out all the expectations. So far, so good. I had some hesitation saying that was a good choice to get Tuchel as a German coach heading the English almighty team. But so far, so good. So you have to congratulate the coach, congratulate the players. The chemistry seems to work. Until then, hopefully for the English, until the next final of the next World Cup.
Ali?
Well, the greatness of Cristiano Ronaldo is undeniable, and these numbers that just keep coming about. Every time that he scores a goal now, it seems to be some sort of record that is broken, and he's not tired of it. I think he may be the only person in the world who's keeping up with all these records, other than Gab, so that he can include him in this list, but it is impressive to see. And the fact that he has changed who he is as a player and has now become an instinctive number 9 striker, and that has been the case over the last, I would say, 3 or 4 years, if not a little bit longer. How he has evolved and changed who he is as a player and what he is as a player and continues to produce at this level, I honestly didn't think that this was going to be the case following the last World Cup, but it's undeniable. As I just said, it was the opening comment that I made. Cristiano Ronaldo is undeniable. And until he chooses to walk away, apparently nobody else is going to tell him to walk away. Nobody's going to tell him, no, you're not part of this national team. No, you're not part of this mix. And why would you if he continues to score goals? As for the Italy thing, when Gab mentions this, I don't know if you sensed it yourself, but I sense there's nerves. There's already this anxiety that is building up. They haven't even finished the group stage just yet, and he's already thinking about how and what are the scenarios by which we're not making the World Cup again. It is a scary place to be if you're Italy, because if Gab is thinking it, what about the players? What about the federation? What about the coaches? What about the fans? I'm sure he's not the only one thinking about this.
Oh, lots of negativity.
Not at all. Where's the negativity? That's not negativity.
All right. Make sure to check out the next edition.
Hold on. Is your husband nervous about it?
Oh, yes.
A little.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yes.
Understandably so, after the last 2 playoff debacles. Yes, let's see if Gab does talk about Cape Verde and give them their flowers on the Gab and Jules Show. Check it out twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. We're looking forward to the first big one of the season.
We are indeed, Kay, and particularly after that stirring trailer there, Derek. What you can do with your voiceover, I'm gripped already after that.
I'm glad that you found it stirring, so there we go. And we hope it's going to be a stirring match on Saturday. It has been in the last couple of years when you think about, last season in particular, a pair of scoring draws, excitement until the end. And yeah, it's not Celtic against Rangers or Barcelona against Real Madrid or Galatasaray against Fenerbahce in terms of the actual rivalry, but it's something very special still.
And if we look at the most recent results there, you've alluded to it there, the fact that Dortmund have been able to start saying to Bayern, hang on, you're not going to have it all your own way every single time, is helpful, I think, to this game as a spectacle as well, because there had reached a point over the last few years where you were thinking, well, I know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, if you look back to, say, 2019 until 2023, it was very much Bayern's time. But that trend has been reversed, and Dortmund know what it is to win in Munich too, which I think can't be overlooked. And I do like this sort of labelling of the game as perfect Bayern, and they have been perfect so far with 10 wins in all competitions, against unbeaten Dortmund. And let's not overlook that, because unbeaten since the start of the season. A couple of wobbly games, you might say, in there, St. Pauli and Juventus. But they're doing it in a minimalistic way under Niko Kovac, not necessarily with attacking fireworks, but a lot of grit and determination and organisation. Adeyemi wasn't great, and we were talking about this off air. He's either very good or sometimes not so great. Wasn't great against Leipzig in the last match.
Exactly. Quoting the great Italian general of midfield there, current national team manager of Italy, Gennaro Gattuso, albeit a little bit of a change you've made there. Thank you, Derek. I want to come back to something you said there. Nuisance value. I feel that, we talk about XG. I think NV, I think, could be a good new thing.
Could have a future as a stat.
Because also, actually, I would say that in terms of the Bayern stakes in the newly created NV nuisance values stake, I would say that Konrad Laimer's pretty high up there. Just behind probably Harry Kane.
Well, here's another stat for you. Laimer is the leader for Bayern in terms of setting up shots. This is a new statistic that we have, so you can track who's actually setting up the shots or the attempts. Laimer, number 1 for Bayern, number 2 in the entire Bundesliga from a fullback.
Yeah, fullback seems generous given the way he marauds up and down that line. So, moving then to where you see this game being won and lost. Because, look, let's face it, Bayern are going to have the majority of the ball. But I think that Niko Kovac managing any team equals a certain preparation for we're not going to have as much of the ball. And you know what? We're okay with that.
Yeah, if Dortmund are going to win this game, it will not be by out-Bayerning Bayern. That's not going to be the recipe for their success. They are going to be sitting fairly deep, not too deep. There's always that balance you have to strike, but fairly deep with their back 3, which will doubtless become a back 5. I think the midfield, we used the word improvement earlier for Bayern, the midfield is greatly improved for Dortmund, and Kovac just spoiled for choice. Marcel Sabitzer is the face of that midfield improvement, and then they have to rely on the transitional moments in the game with Adeyemi front and centre there. So it can be done. Bayern are going to do it their way. They're going to have more of the possession. I think we know that. But what we haven't seen from Bayern this season in comparison with, say, last, these sort of little slack moments that sometimes creep in. Remember a game against Frankfurt last season where slack moments crept in. Barcelona in the Champions League last season. Not so much from Bayern this time. So Dortmund are going to have to be really resourceful. They don't create an awful lot, but they do take their chances and they do know how to defend. This is going to be fascinating.
It will be, Derek. Thank you very much for now. Okay, there are only 4 points separating Bayern and Dortmund. It is crucial for Borussia Dortmund's, I would say, smallish title hopes that they get 3 of them back at the weekend. If they don't, as I know a certain Ale Moreno has said, this could be good night for the title race.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. We'll say good night to you and let you get some rest. Big weekend ahead for the boys. It is the big one. It's the Klassiker, Bayern Munich taking on.
It's inaccurate.
Borussia
I would have said good night. So.
Sorry, forgot you.
Yeah, okay.
Do not doubt German with Ali Moreno.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, lots of action for you in the Bundesliga coming off on ESPN Plus this weekend. Good win for the United States. Their first comeback win for Pochettino's USA. We had Alejandro Bedoya joining Football Americas last night. Here's his take on what he saw.
I thought it was another great exercise. I think overall this window, the U.S. national team can go away with their heads held high. Great exercise for all the guys getting reps and opportunities. This is a different type of opponent than it was previously against Ecuador, right? This is a team that sits back a little bit, is waiting for you to attack them. So the U.S. was able to obviously dominate in possession. Overall, I thought there were some definitely standout players that helped their case. I think one for me that stuck out was Roldan. Normally typically a guy that we think about his defensive abilities, but he was able to get on the ball and get a couple assists on, obviously the first goal was a great step by Chris Richards, who is definitely captain material for this team. Setting the tone, wins the ball up to Weston McKennie, who was another strong candidate for man of the match. He had a great game as well. So we needed to see some of this stuff. I think Pochettino was able to figure out a few answers here as well from some players in this window. So, but tonight was definitely a good test for a team. This is Australia's another team that's going to be in a World Cup and the type of team that the U.S. men's national team will be seeing, a team that maybe sits back in a low block. And so what do you do in possession to try to break teams down? I would have liked to see a little bit more interlinking play. I thought in the beginning there was a little bit of struggle in terms of too many guys checking to the ball. When you're playing with the back three in a build out, I'd like to see one of those outside center back maybe take a little bit more risk to go forward to bring Australia guys out and maybe find more balls in between the lines and in those spaces. But the result, they got 2-1, they won. So I think this window gives a lot of U.S. men's national teams a lot more optimism going forward. So great window.
Sure to hear more from Bedoya and the boys. Football Americas is streaming now, reacting to.
Does that mean that we have to hear from Seb as well? Because
yes, you do. Well, check it
a
out
tough choice.
Wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure to check it out wherever you stream your shows. Talking about Argentina and where they are placed when it comes to who will be winning the 2026 World Cup. Well, as you can see, the bookies have them as 5th favourite as it stands right now. But who cares about the bookies when we have the sports mastermind, the algorithm king, and the king of the power rankings somewhere in the vicinity, right next to me, Shaka Hislop.
I'm not sure how the bookies have Brazil over Argentina, which, anyway.
Okay.
Spain favourites, I spoke about them yesterday, the depth of their squad. France, I think, given their experience of 2022, I think they've improved. Kylian Mbappe is certainly showing his leadership qualities and continues to be a huge impact in the game. Argentina, so much still hinges around Lionel Messi, and while Lionel Messi continues to do Lionel Messi things, at some point it's going to stop. 3rd favourite, you just feel he continues, but I'm not sure it's enough to take them to World Cup glory second time around. England in at 4. And then from here on in, I'll be sure, I'm not sure anybody else has a chance to win it. But these are the teams I think have chances of going deep. Norway have been outstanding in World Cup qualifying. Jan paid me a little backhander to say that as well. Brazil at 6. While they haven't been great...
And you're not above taking a little bit of a pride.
Not at all. Not at all. And Brazil have been great in World Cup qualifying, but the Carlo Ancelotti effect, you wonder if that takes hold. Portugal, Croatia, and then I've included Mexico and the US. Because as host nations, you will always get a very kind group to start with. And for that reason... I feel they have a chance of going a little bit further than the others.
No little backhanders from Mario Melchior?
I tried calling him, but he didn't answer.
All right.
So no backhanders from Melchior.
All right. Well, second the best, Frank.
When I told you will have your revenge, he was able to put Mexico and United States in the first 10. I'll let you talk about that. Well, I think Spain and France deserve to be with Argentina the 3 contender for the favorites for the World Cup. But I would have put Portugal a little bit ahead of what Shaka did. I think England, yes, is getting better, but I think Portugal are more ready to surprise the world and maybe win their first World Cup next summer. Otherwise, for the first 7, I would say, okay. The 8th, Croatia, it's a nice surprise. But again, Gab, you have free will to talk about the 9th and the 10th. Go ahead, enjoy.
Do it, Gab.
Yeah, I'm going to take issue. I mean, you could take issue with both of them. I do wonder about how this host nation advantage doesn't apply to Canada too. The frozen north doesn't count for anything. I think we've seen Mexico have a lot of issues right now, probably more than the U.S. And I feel like you're leaving some other nations out. Not necessarily Italy, although by the way,
to make it first.
It's funny you love. Well, yeah, you can go and adore Norway all you like. They got to come to our house, right? Next month. And then we'll see. We'll finish level on points. You don't get extra points for scoring 11 goals against Moldova and Estonia and the Muppet Show and stuff like that. The point of this game is to win games, right? That's the point of the sport. It's not to run up the score mindlessly and Asgard getting 3 goals and Holland giving up penalties. And Jan himself points out, we're so wonderful going forward. We all have these large, giant men who score tons of goals. But guess what? If Odegaard's not there, who's passing in midfield? Sander Berge? I don't know. And at the back, Jan, I'm quoting Jan here, so negative about their defenders as well. Nyland, of course, in goal, not starting at club level. I don't know. Having them ahead of Brazil, I'm going to leave this to my Seleção tweets out there on social media, Shaka, but I think you're cruising for a bit of a bruising on that one.
Does this feel like Gab started World Cup qualifying and went off on his own?
Yeah,
He always
His own
gets angry. Whenever it comes to Italy, we've got like so many receipts of Gab getting really angry about Italy.
But here's the other thing. Gab himself, in his own ranking of storylines of this World Cup qualifying break, he said that he was concerned about Italy in the playoff. And he himself said that they're going to the playoff because they're not going to make up the difference against Norway. And unless Norway's able to beat it, unless Italy's able to beat Norway 16-0, which is not going to happen, then scoring against the quote-unquote Muppet teams counts for a lot. So we'll put that to the side. We'll put that to the side because this is not a referendum on Gab. This is more a referendum on Shaka.
Yeah.
Let's refocus on Shaka.
Well, what did you not like about Shaka's picks?
And to the point that Gab was making about if you're gonna put Mexico and the United States, then you put Canada in because wait a minute, right now the best team in CONCACAF is Canada, whether you like it or not. Currently, where we are,
Canada aren't going to go deep in this tournament. Canada aren't going to get out the group.
You're saying that in front of Frank, who had Canada making it to the semifinals of the World Cup. How dare you?
That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
So disrespectful.
That's a good point.
So
Sorry, Frank.
Have you mentioned Ali? Have you mentioned Ali that I didn't say a word about Canada because I don't want to make twice the same mistake? You know?
And here's the other thing that I would say about Shaka and his inconsistencies and the algorithm. He has sat here this week, in particular this week, because we have worked together quite a bit, and has ran his mouth time and time again about how down he is on Mauricio Pochettino. And you have been given opportunities to be positive about Pochettino, and instead, you have gone completely the other way and said that you don't understand what he's saying, you don't understand what he's doing, why is he saying this, why is he doing that? And here you are, you have him in the top 10 of the teams more likely to win the World Cup. Shaka, your algorithm is broken once again.
The US are going to get out of their group, as will Mexico, and then go 2 games further. I guarantee right now, put your mortgage on it.
So they're winning the round of 16 and then they're getting into a quarterfinal?
No, it's from 48. You don't go from 48 to, they're not going to 40 to 16 now. They're going to 48 to 32 and then to 16. So they'll get to the round of 16 is what I'm saying.
Well, you're not sticking your neck out that much saying that.
But that's what I said though. That's what I said. Outside the top 4, I don't think anybody else is winning the World Cup. So now I'm looking for who's most likely to go deeper in the tournament. So I said that from the get-go.
So the United States and Mexico, we cannot forget about Mexico in this conversation, they have a better chance of advancing further in this competition than Germany, than
Germany ain't going far.
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
And wait, were you not listening? Wait, hold on. Were you not listening to Colin? He told us that Senegal was going to win the World Cup. I would put Senegal above Mexico.
Now, my thing is the draw. You're guaranteed that Mexico, US, and Canada, but I'm not a sold on Canada. I know what you're saying. I understand. I'm not a sold on Canada going anywhere in this tournament.
Okay.
You guarantee that they're going to get an early and easy
Why do you hate Canada?
I love Canada.
Do you though?
I do. I love Canada. But you guarantee they're going to get an easy draw to start with.
Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time with Ale and Shaka and Gab. A little bit angry Gab tonight because of what's going on with Italy.
Angry,
and Frank.
nervous, anxious.
Anxious is probably a better way to describe it, right? Anxious Gab. Frank, have you been to Paris Fashion Week?
If I've been to Paris.
Fashion Week.
Fashion Week. It's Fashion Week in Paris, right?
Oh, Nah, leave me alone. I don't like fashion. I like my own fashion. I don't need other people to tell me what I have to wear. That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah. He just walks around
The Italians are more stylish anyway, right, Gab?
Oh boy.
If we could only see the pants that Frank is wearing right now, we'd really see fashion.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. That's a pajama.
both have-
I was about to say that's a bold presumption there.
Speak to us, Gab.
We both have our own style. Style and fashion are two different things. As those who are blessed to come from countries which have a long heritage in those fields, like Frank and myself, know that even the fact that you're, combining fashion and style, they're two different things. So fashion's one thing, style's another. We both have plenty.
And style
There's
never
lots
goes
of
out of
them.
fashion.
I was very subtle,
I love that,
passive-aggressive.
Gab.
It was.
Subtle, passive-aggressive is what it was.
You can keep your fashion and your food in England. We have no interest. All right, for all of you, if Cristiano Ronaldo wins the World Cup with Portugal, do you think he'd automatically win the Ballon d'Or like Messi did after winning with Argentina? Asks Harry.
Yes.
Yes.
cares?
Look at the people who vote for the Ballon d'Or. It's not even a question. It's like it's pretty much automatic. That's the nature of the Ballon d'Or. In World Cup years, only one thing matters to these people, and I go back to 2006 when. Remind me who won that World Cup and who won the Ballon d'Or?
Cannavaro.
The last time a defender won it, possibly the last time in her lifetime, Fabio Cannavaro. So yeah.
Yeah, but why?
Simple as that.
Why? You know what? Do you think that if Zidane wouldn't have given his headbutt to your almighty defender Materazzi, it would have been given to Zidane the Ballon d'Or? Maybe.
Bitter.
Don't deny it.
Bitter.
No. It would have taken more than him just not headbutting Materazzi. It would have then taken France to go and win the World Cup. Yeah, if France win the World Cup, 100% Zidane wins it. I'm not going to argue with you there. But I don't think it's as automatic as like, if he doesn't, is that Zidane's headbutt is the reason France didn't win the World Cup. No, I mean, they still have to go and win the game.
Okay. Gab, what has happened to Sweden? 2 losses to Kosovo, and they have one of the most expensive strikers on the planet, and he can't do anything either.
And before you answer this, Gab, can you please keep it to Sweden and not make it about Italy again?
Yes, please, Gab.
No way.
Yeah, I wonder who Sweden might face in the playoffs.
So there is a link.
Oh boy.
They changed coaches. You've got 2 center forwards who should be able to play together. We've seen Isak play on the wing quite effectively, and it just doesn't come together. And this is what you get in the in World Cup qualifying. And you know what? I think if Italy don't make it to the World Cup, we'll be in good company. Maybe we can have a little tournament with Sweden, just a little summer series.
And there it is.
Who stopped you going to 2018, Gab?
Who's what, say?
Who stopped Italy going to 2018?
You did not just ask me who stopped Italy going in 2018, did you? That would be Sweden.
Okay.
And you know that
Just
because
check
I said
out,
it
just check
earlier
him.
in the
Just
show.
check him.
You're just trolling me. You're going to bring up North Macedonia in 2022 next, and then after that you're going to bring up Northern Ireland in
Romania
1958,
if you want.
possibly
Going even
Romania
further.
in the qualifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gab. Sorry. All right, Shaka.
He's taking it really well, I think. He's taking it really well.
Really well. Which
It's the
manager?
best way. Face your fears.
Which manager faces more pressure this weekend to get a result? Amorim or Slot? Expectations: 2-2 draw in last year's fixture at Anfield.
I think Amorim faces more pressure in that I think Slot still has some equity in the bank, given what Liverpool did last season. And while I know Sir Jim Radcliffe has kind of almost pulled a hamstring trying to defend Amorim, I'm not buying it. And I think things need to start to turn around really quickly for Manchester United. I just don't see how it does against. Well, let's assume that Liverpool are even half themselves.
You got really serious there with that answer. Your voice got deeper.
I was thinking.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what happens when you think.
When I have to think and speak at the same time, it's
Okay.
tough.
Okay.
It's tough.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gab, do you have a thought on this question?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's Amorim. Arne Slot is still the defending Premier League champion. He won the Premier League at his first attempt following a summer in which they didn't add anybody other than Federico Chiesa, who I think played 120 odd minutes last season. So he has so many alibis this year. They did spend a ton of money, but that means integrating the new players. Sure, at some point, if he keeps losing, Slot could get sacked too, but it would need to be a long, long, long run of games. So it's definitely Amorim. And you know what? I'm not even sure it really matters what Ratcliffe says, because ultimately it's not his club, it's the Glazers' club. So we've heard all this before. I don't think either one is getting sacked in the near future. But between the two, obviously there's more pressure in that sense in terms of keeping the job on Amorim. There's pressure on Slot because everybody associated with Liverpool obviously wants Liverpool to play better and turn the results around. Frank,
you looked like the great thinker statue while you were listening to the boys. Do you agree with them that it's Amorim?
Yeah, right now, Amorim faces pressure, more pressure, but the pressure will really start if Slot loses at the weekend. Because four losses in 4 games, the pressure will be hard on Slot. That's so unexpected. We were expecting much more. They're still second, is what I say. We are hammering Liverpool. They're not playing well enough, but they still have the result. They're second in the league, so everything is quite okay. But we all know that they can do better. And if they lose their 4th game in a row, Slot's going to be under a hell of a pressure.
Believing that 48 or more teams at the World Cup is too much, but was 32 enough as a counterpoint?
32 was enough. I don't understand. Look, my country, just like Gab gets to make it about Italy, I'll make it about Venezuela. My country was on the verge of making the World Cup for the first time in our history. And even then, I've been saying all along that I don't like a 48-team World Cup. I don't. I still look at the World Cup and should be an exclusive tournament in which you qualify. The best of the best of each region qualify. It's not an invitational, it's not an open mic night, everybody gets a chance. No. This is not karaoke night. You got to qualify to get there. And when you start opening the window of qualification for just about everybody, 48 teams seems like a lot for me. 32 was fine. In fact, there was a time in which it was less than 32. Maybe we could have had that conversation if it wasn't enough before 32. 32 I thought was plenty, 48 far too much.
All right. Gab, why does Serie A lack world-class players? Gab's getting it today. The only 2 that could be classified as such would be Dumfries and Magnan, while all other top 5 leagues have at least 6. Players like De Bruyne and Modric won't count since they're past their best, and Lautaro isn't quite there yet. Or isn't quite there?
Well, Lautaro's 28, so I hope there was no yet at the end of that.
There wasn't.
Of that question. I don't know. I guess somebody's not really a Kenan Yildiz fan, I'm guessing, or a Christian Pulisic fan, or Rafael Leao. I don't know. World class, I think it's kind of a pretty meaningless label. Is Ademola Lookman world class? Was he world class last season when he put 3 passes behind Bayer Leverkusen or 2 years ago in the Europa League final? I mean, I don't want to get philosophical here, but what the hell does it even mean? How many world-class players are in the Bundesliga since there's so many, right? Okay, Harry Kane, fine. Joshua Kimmich.
It's a little bit of whataboutery from you there, Gab.
But the whataboutery comes from the question, right? Where do we draw the line at who's world-class? I think Bastoni is world-class. I don't think you can count more than 3 or 4 center backs in the world that you would put ahead of him. Does that make him world class? Not by this guy's definition, evidently, since he didn't mention him. I might not have Dumfries up there.
Sommer.
So, I mean,
Sommer is
I don't know.
world class.
It just seems like a
for example.
Sorry?
Summer is world class. You know? I mean, you can find. I mean, who decides who's world class or not? I mean, not upon review football decides who's world class or not. I mean, you can find dozens of world class players. I'm fed up with those people who decide, you know, who is better than the other one. You shut up, you know, ask a better question because really, that takes me into my nerves. Really, I mean, you have to respect the world of football. Come on.
Yeah, and look. It's one of those how long is a piece of string argument, right? If we say like these are the top 100 players in the world, and then we count how many there are in each league, fine, that's one argument. But if we say world class, well, what's world class to you might not be world class to me. Is Sadio Mane world class? Wait, are there more world class players in Saudi Arabia right now than there are in any other league in the world except for the Premier League, perhaps? Probably.
Exactly.
By this dude's definition, it feels that way.
Well, I think. Well, I don't because obviously Gab is very touchy today, and so I don't want to really step on Gab. I just want to leave Gab alone. But all I would say is that if you were to compare, say, Milan, Inter, Juventus, Napoli, right now where they are and the teams that they have and the squads that they have available, compare that to the late 80s, early 90s of those same teams, I think we can all agree, whether our definition of world class may change, we can all agree that those teams were elite, that those teams were among the best in the world. And so if you then extrapolate that to the rest of the teams in Serie A and assume that if your stronger teams are not as good as they were back then, the rest is also not as good as they were, then the level of the league has also decreased. I think it's a fair assessment without getting personal or without giving any value to whatever upon review football is saying. It's just an observation.
Go ahead, Gab.
No, yeah, I agree.
For a
I
minute
agree
there,
with you and comparing. Sorry. So go, Gab.
No, just for a minute there, I was going to mention how the Dallas Cowboys were probably a little bit better in the 1990s when they had Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith compared to the Muppet Show that they have now. And what does that say about the league? But look, you're right. Serie A was a better league in the 80s and 90s when they literally won everything in sight. But does it mean that there's only 2 world-class players in Serie A? And also, even more, how do you get to Dumfries and Magic Mike? We all love Magic Mike, but the man is injured every other week. Denzel Dumfries, that's who you fantasize about at night? In world-class terms, really? I don't know. It just seems odd to me, but sure.
All right.
So Gab getting angry about Denzel Dumfries and Magic Mike somehow builds a bridge to have a shot at the Cowboys?
Yeah.
What?
Like they need that.
What? And I take shots on the Cowboys. I don't care.
What is your favourite football-themed movie? Mine is Victory with Sylvester Stallone and Pelé. Escape to Victory. Classic.
Yes, that was a very nice one. I mean, Sylvester Stallone is the worst of the players that among the others, because you had real players, you know, like Pelé and some others. But that was a really nice movie, also shot in Paris, in France. I loved it. If we talk about football, we can include American football, and for me, one of the best movies about sport that I ever seen is Any Given Sunday. I love that movie. I loved Al Pacino acting. But it's true that Victory was a very, very good movie.
Stallone's goalkeeper.
Do you remember the score, Frank?
Go ahead, Gab.
Excuse me?
Do you remember who won the game in Escape to Victory? Do you remember the final score?
I think that normally, but the real story. No, I don't because I don't care about that because but really the real story. It's about the Hungarian former prisoner who beat the Nazi and were all killed by the Nazis. But I think in that game, well, I guess because it's an American movie, I mean the prisoner won the game.
No, it actually finished 4-4. Nobody remembers the score.
Okay.
But you hit the nail on the head. it's not about the score. It's not about results. It's about how you play and what you stand for and the emotions that you convey to the audiences when you're out there, right? You as an actor, you get that. It's not about the score.
Okay.
Exactly.
What about Stallone's goalkeeping? Huh? It kind of looked like you, Shaq.
Well,
Huh?
are you trying to say I've got a future in Hollywood?
Shaka-strophic.
That's it. That's it.
Hollywood's calling
Anything
is what I
stand out
heard.
to you guys?
About
Our football, not Frank going off course.
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna say Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell. Ladybugs with Rodney Dangerfield back in the day. I think his son played, or he would put a wig on his son, and he would play in a girls' team because he was the coach of the team and he wanted the team to win. I think that's, if I remember correctly. But Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell, I suppose, is of the newer ones. At least it's funny. And I don't have to remember what the scoreline was either.
No, might be 4-4. Nobody remembers. Score doesn't matter.
I had to look it up. Was it goal? That was
Goal.
Newcastle United.
Yes.
Yep, there you go.
Santi.
That's all that matters.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
Real Madrid. Yeah.
That was that movie with goal where they took the only Mexican who doesn't know to play football, and that was that movie. There's 3 movies. I mean, that was amazing because even on the short shots, even you could see his shoulders didn't match what he was doing. I say, how can you not find one Mexican guy actor who can play football? That was crazy for me. Insane.
Oh, look at that. Frank's not having it. All right. This is an interesting one. Must go to Gab first. Do any of you trust a non-lettuce based salad? You shouldn't, apparently.
What, like a
yes.
potato salad?
Or caprese salad?
Yeah. Well, I don't consider
No, like
caprese
a
salad.
sort of salad. I think it's mostly.
But you don't need lettuce in a salad.
No, like an iceberg salad. That's like the sort of salad. The identity as a salad. You have many sorts of salads. The green salad, in fact, like the iceberg. I don't know what you call that. The rockets. In France, we have many salads, and the different spice flavor. I think it's more about that, not the question.
Okay, so leaves we're saying, okay? Romaine, kale, whatever.
So,
yeah.
Kale cow.
Yeah, but let's say it's not
kale.
a leaf-based
Like
salad.
a coleslaw.
Okay, like a mixture, yeah.
Also a salad.
I don't know. I'm asking. Is that a non-lettuce based salad? Coleslaw.
I don't know.
Does that qualify?
Coleslaw is not a
What
salad.
about a fruit
Coleslaw is
salad? I like a fruit salad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fruit salad is
I
all right.
absolutely trust
fruit salad.
non-lettuce-based salads.
Zach Waters confused everybody, and everybody disagrees at the same time.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know.
I don't mind a
Zach's
potato
reasons
salad, a good
why.
potato
Yeah,
salad.
well,
Now, if you get the potato salad wrong and it's left out for a while in the sun, probably not the way to go. But a good potato salad, fresh.
Seems like you've got some experience with
Well,
that.
I'm just saying, I spent a very
sun-drenched.
difficult evening after eating a
Sun-drenched
shady
potato salad.
All right, last question. Ale, if Venezuela win the WBC next year, will it ease your pain from Venezuela's World Cup qualifying campaign? Also, can I get a Vamos Venezuela, please and thanks?
So for those that don't know, the WBC is a World Baseball Classic, and the answer to that is unequivocally 100% no.
No?
No.
No, it wouldn't ease the pain. Look, I'd love for Venezuela to win that, but no. To compare the World Baseball Classic with the World Cup is a completely different conversation, and they're trying to make the World Baseball Classic into something, and they're not anywhere near making it into something just yet. Plus, baseball is not played nearly in as many places as soccer is. It would ease the pain somewhat. I would be happy for like half a second, yay! But no, it doesn't ease the pain of Venezuela not qualifying to the World Cup, but because Jesus was so friendly and so interested in Venezuela, I have no issue in saying, Vamos Venezuela!
Love that. Before we go tonight, you didn't get to see Frank's thinker pose while Gab was talking about the Amorim slot question.
See, Frank is looking into my soul.
Oh, he is. Oh, boy.
He's looking into my soul.
I love that.
Oh, what is
He's pondering
Can
a
you send me that
three-bean
picture?
salad.
I love that. You know, can you send me that picture? My wife will think once and now I can be smart and thinking. And then, so that would be nice. Okay, I can have it.
It's gonna take a lot more than that, Frank. It's gonna take a lot more than
First
that.
time this show has gone in an entirely unexpected direction.
Look at it.
Ah, boy, look at that.
Now, does the thinker have a comb over? Is that what's going on with the hairstyle?
But nothing on the, nothing in the brain. Nothing is going on in the brain right
Frankie,
now. I'm just
the guns. Could you rival those guns?
Oh, don't get Frank.
The biceps.
Don't get Frank undressing on the show, will you? Jesus.
Well, yeah, I have the same.
Yes. I mean, honestly, he is.
Yeah, don't worry.
I blame you for that, kid.
Yes.
I blame you.
See, we were ready to move on.
Frank, now we have Frank undressing on the show.
Yeah, see, but how quickly he went to undressing.
Let me just look.
No, but if you push me, I have to serve you.
No, you weren't pushing.
You don't have to, though.
Barely a little tap on your shoulder.
For more of Frank and his bulging biceps every single day.
I'm sorry, what? Excuse me? I beg your pardon?